Ah, there you are. Let's push on. Eager to explore, aren't you? Take your time, I'll wait. I can use a break anyway. Blazes. Sorry. I know. I can't sing.
Madame?
Majestic, isn't it?
Good evening.
Morala's blessings, my friend. Well, flee isn't exactly the right word for it. I call it tactical relocalization. Only a stupid businessman will try to sell spices amidst a civil war. Oh, well, after those rumors about the Lightborn, very stupid if you ask me, and very bad for the economy. Thank the sun I was one of the few who fled early enough. But this madness has cost far too many lives. Well, they are blasphemy. What else? Well, they are blasphemy. What else?
Yes.
The gods have raised wind for millennia. Whoever thinks one could just kill the gods as they could kill a rabbit must be another fool.
Really need that new herbal essence for my hair. Hello? Is it important?
Good evening.
Oh my. Another exhausted soul, aren't you? Oh, come on! Don't you think I see how you're slaving away? You can hardly put one foot before the other. Look how exhausted you are. And this armor, a way to ease your travels. A mount. And you know what? Today's your lucky day. If you agree to help me out with a little problem of mine, I'll give you one for free. Gnarldolf, a troll. For 2 months now, every night, the guard says I'm only imagining it, but trust me. When it all started, the grunting came from back in the forest. But it's got... So, what do you say? You kill Gnarldolf for me, and in return, you'll get one of my very best donkeys for free. Whirlwind. And believe me, he lives up to his name. What? That doesn't ring a bell? Gnarldolf? As in, the... Considering how horrible the grunting sounds, that name seemed fitting to me. But call him what you want, it doesn't matter. As long as you kill him. Oh, that should be pretty easy. Just wait until shortly after midnight and then scout the area. Eventually, you'll hear that grunting I told you about. And needless to say, be careful. You look like you can take care of yourself. Otherwise, I wouldn't have asked. But these beasts are not... to be underestimated.
Huh?
An obulus, my dame, please. The Lord will redeem you for your kindness.
And here we are. Welcome to Ark. I've got some things to take care of here. So let's meet at the market once you're ready to meet Grandmaster Tealor Arenthiel and his mages in person, alright?
I hope the new turnips come soon.
By his own son, Nerazil, yeah. But roughly 2.5 years ago, he suddenly appeared back in Enderal, accompanied by a handful of mages who once fought against him in the Great War. Weird, I know, but that's how it was. He did, yeah. It seems that something happened between him and them that made them... They're allies now. You can imagine what kind of uproar that caused among the Holy Order itself. But in the end, you can say what you want about him, but he never lost his charisma, that's for sure. You're telling me. But apparently their alliance has something to do with this red madness. I guess we'll see what happens. Oh, sure. Alright then. Ark is divided into 5 districts, not counting the harbor. The Foreign Quarter, where we are right now. If you're looking to gear up, I guess the market would be the place to go. You can find anything there, from food. If it's magical supplies and alchemy you need, however, you best try your luck in the nobles' quarters. But prepare yourself for some dismissive look. Finally, there's the temple, which is hard to overlook. Normal citizens are not permitted to enter it. But if all goes according to plan, you'll soon see it from the inside. And then there's the Undercity. Yeah, it doesn't, and it isn't. The Undercity's a cluster of caves directly beneath our feet. And down there is where the poor and the sick live. Not a place I'd recommend you visit, at least not unless you're looking for mischievous. Great. Then see you later and enjoy your stay.
My dame?
What?
if I didn't tell them that already.
Well, look who's arrived. Did you have any problems finding your way around? This city can be quite a maze if you don't know it. Right, you're from Ostian. I almost forgot. They're quite fascinating, these places, aren't they? You can climb high, and you can fall just as deep. And every place vibrates with life. Here, put this on. And before you ask, yes, it's necessary. Just trust me.
My dame. Huh? Can I help you?
That's it. And why is it Malphas who carries the Sun Temple on his back? Isn't that a gesture of servitude?
Yes?
So, about this fever. Usually those gifted with magic have to report their talent to the Order, and then pass a ritual that teaches them how to deal with their magic. The journey to the water is what they call it. Once they've passed that, the fever reduces to an endurable level, and new arcanists have their names registered in some kind of holy book. But there are other ways to get rid of the fever, and I hope my employer can tell you about them. Okay, almost there.
Hold it, my sir. No civilians beyond this point without explicit permission. Who are you, and what leads you to this holy place?
Business. I'm Jaspar Belveric, and I work for the Naramese mages.
Oh, right. The mercenary. And who's your companion?
Marija de Luna from Ostian, esteemed holder of de Luna's Empire of Tender Fragrance, the most prestigious perfumery in all of Vin. Archmagister Marigil sent for her. Didn't he tell you?
The Archmagister. Well, that does sound like him. Fair enough, you may pass. But show this place the respect it deserves, mercenary. You too, my Dame de Luna.
You have my word, fair lady. Thank you.
Loch blessed, madame.
Well, that went better than expected. Hey, it worked, didn't it? That's all that matters. Nobody will suspect someone who's already in the temple. Anyway, I think it's about time I tell you a little bit more about this employer of mine. His name is Constantine Firespark, and he's one of Narathzil Orenthiel's former followers, which the new Grand Master, Tealor Orenthiel, brought here by ship about 2 years ago. That means he's one of the former arch-enemies of the Order. They usually wear green, while the Order wears white or red. That should make it easy for you to tell them apart. Firespark's pretty much the eldest of Narathzil's mages, and quite well versed in magic, at least from what I've heard. Plus, he's a very gentle and likable fellow, which is why even the keepers like having him around. Let's hope he can tell us a thing or two about these visions and help you get rid of the fever. Come, follow me. All right, here we are. Hang on.
No. That's not how you do it.
Blast it! I'm just being careful. We
Like
have to.
heck we do. Give me that thing, now. Ouch. Blasted, blistering blazes. That's what you get for working with fumblers. I told you, we
Nice
should
fire
be
spot.
careful. What? Now who the heck are you? Can't an old man have a moment to himself?
You hired me. The Magister, don't you remember?
Oh, right. Joseph the Scrounger. So why are you here? Had any luck?
Just spar. And yeah, we did find something.
Suggest you first of all tell me when I allowed you to drag your flings up here. Do you need me to explain the meaning of the words highly and confidential to you?
I'm sure there's a lot you can explain to me, but let's save that for later. This particular lady over here needs your help, to be frank. Arcane fever.
Is that so? And what exactly has that got to do with me? Let the Keepers and their holy rituals take care of it. What is it with the costume, anyway?
This woman's magic is different, Meiser. Just feel her aura, and you'll see it. Plus, she's from Narim, just as you are.
Well, all right then, for nostalgia's sake. I really hope you're not wasting my time, though. Working with these religious buffoons is bound to make any rational thinking person go bonkers. Anyway, that chair over there. Take a seat, and I'll have a look at that fever of yours. All right, then. This will tickle a little. Yeah, you're right. This aura does feel different. Complex somehow, and powerful. And do you really want to tell me you've only recently discovered that talent of yours? With that aura, I'm surprised that you haven't turned into an Obaya by now. Fine. Well, that is, we will help you. But first, tell me everything. How you got that magic, and how you met that Scrounger.
Yes, it makes sense.
I see. Regarding this vision thing, I think that your mind simply played a trick on you there. Not that it's much of a surprise, considering what you've been through. Actually, you were quite lucky that the sudden outburst of your glance didn't blow your head right off. By all that's holy, I won't start playing your tutor now. If you don't know about the basic functioning of magic, then read something from Balador Goldenstein.
The glance on the sea of eventualities. Alongside, but apart from the reality we're in right now, exist countless other realities, in which some events have different outcomes, so to speak. A version of this very same room, for example, with the very same people in it, only that Meister Firespark's beard is on fire. And what defines an arcanist, someone capable of magic, is that he or she can see those other realities and let parts of them come true.
Well, look at that, Jasper. You surprise me.
That's what I'm being paid for.
Where is this?
How powerful an arcanist is depends on 3 factors. How far away are the eventualities that he can see, how well he can bring parts of them into our reality, and finally, how well his mind can handle seeing other realities. Lighting a candle is easier than calling a meteor from the sky, to speak plain in Al. But, as I said, read Goldenstein if you're interested in the topic. I'm not going to waste any time with well, if that's what you want to believe, go for it. I, in any case, have never come across such a phenomenon in over 50 years of studying magic. And now we should...
It all begins with the dreams.
What the blasted blistering blazes? Does this room look like the bosom of a whore to you? Or what makes you think you can go around touching anything you get your fingers on? These documents are confidential, for heck's sake. I knew it was a mistake to hire a thug like you. Lashery always had a weakness for...
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember you telling me something about dreams that led you and Tealor Renthiel here, didn't you, Meiser? And you told me that in this vision of yours, the Veiled Woman said this. It all begins with the dreams.
What? Is that true? Oh. Then this near-death experience you had before you woke up on the shore. Tell me again, what exactly did you see in it? A room? Well, this is strange indeed. Anyway, for now all that matters is that we get that magic of yours under control. Whatever you clairvoyanced back there is of no use to us if you're dead as a doornail in a couple of months. Well, that's usually a plodding process. The fever you feel is a result of your mind not being able to handle all of these possibilities, so to speak. The ritual the Enderalians practice to get the glance under control is called the Journey to the Water. Put frankly, it means 1 year of hour-long meditation, bland food, and abstinence from anything that makes life worth living. In due time, the Arcanist then learns to filter these other realities from ours, and the fever gets less and less. Anyhow, luckily enough, we Neremes know of a way to quicken that process. A shortcut, if you will. I'm not capable of performing it, but another one of us is. Her name is Lashery, and you should seek her out as soon as possible.
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
There is indeed, and this reason is called ignorance. The Order's rituals haven't changed since the Lightborn slipped out of their cradles, and the Keepers do their best. But please, if you're up for a year of austerity and stern-faced Magisters scolding you, go for it. I really don't care. She's currently in a ruin called Old Rashengrad, not far from Ark. Just tell her that I sent you. Give me that map of yours. Okay, now you'd have to be a total idiot to... I recommend leaving for the ruin straight away. And you, Joseph, You're going to come with me and show me what your trip to the sun... Hopefully, more than a bottle of honey wine and a hanger.
Quite a character, isn't he? But I like him somehow. Here, I owe you this for your help back in Riverville. And in case you're in the mood for a mug of ale and a good chat, just drop by the Dancing Nomad in the Stranger's Quarter. I'll get myself a room there for the time being. With all that said, good luck mastering your magic, my fair lady. I'll see you around. Huh?
Oh, that's hard to tell. Most of the time, which idiots did you have the misfortune to be raised by? Oh, a beautiful. Truth be told, I was a young... I had heard of... But you know who greeted me when I reached... Corpses. It was a and that's not big. But philosophy and freedom of thought... On the one, but if some... What is religion? If you want... Blazes, if you... Yes. Respect those around you, and killing is bad regardless of the motives. Good luck. Especially if people don't keep to themselves with it.
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
Who glory and have since then terrorized and plotted against the poor people of the civilized world by all means necessary. Oh, and did I forget to mention that we eat babies for breakfast? Well, now I have. Sorry. I suppose I just shouldn't have read. Who glory and have since then terrorized. Through most of it, yes. But I don't want to go into deep. Oh, don't. Juslan is probably the most gifted entropist of the civilized world. Oh, do you really need me to answer that? Just take a look around. There are all sorts of great historical writings on us here. We're a bunch of bloodthirsty heretics who followed Tenor Aranthiel's deluded son into the war against the gods.
What? You mean the living dead, the Watirs everywhere, the frenzied civil... What? You mean the living dead, the Watirs everywhere, the frenzied civilians? I'd say this country's seen better times. But at least something happens. It makes this place less boring. Huh?
Oh, you're here. I thought you were in the city.
No, the Archmagister ordered me back. Feels good to be here, to be honest. The funerals. I could have done without them, though.
Sorry.
I don't doubt it.
I know. I can't say.
I still can't believe that really happened. Brother Yarrow, he was such a good man.
I don't think the Red Madness cares much about that.
Probably not, no. I wonder how it happens. Let's hope the infection knows what he's doing.
What do you mean?
Well, the red eyes and the obvious madness only happen in the last stages of the disease. What happens before that? And how? How can one tell someone else is afflicted?
Why, scared you've caught it, are you?
That is not funny. You know, I've had this feeling that there's something wrong with Yarrow for quite some time, long before it happened.
You don't say. His wife was murdered. Don't you think that would have thrown you out of balance too? Path-abiding Enderalian or not?
That's not what I'm... This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't belong here.
Watch yourself. The streets aren't safe this time of the day. Watch yourself. The streets aren't safe this time of the day.
Yes?
Yeah, it's not as if I didn't tell them that already.
Huh? An Outlander, aren't you? Let me think. You could ask old Taiwan from Screws, Hats, Odds and Ends Incorporated. He might have something. Or the Golden Sickle, if you're not afraid of hard work. News. Where have you been these past moons? The whole city's talking about nothing else but the Mad Magister. 30 dead novices. Oh, boy. How could something like this happen within the Order? Madame? Yes?
My dame, do you have a moment? I think the two of us could do business together. Well, it is actually quite simple, but since you were kind enough not to just ignore me and walk by as the others did, I would like to show my gratitude for that. You travel a lot, don't you? I can tell by the mud on your boots. Here, one of these books might come in handy on your journeys. Which one do you prefer? They are, crafting books. I suppose you can call them that. They contain some valuable knowledge about the arts such as smithing, alchemy, or even lockpicking. Not that I would ever imply you'd do such a thing except in an old ruin, but you get the picture. Splendid! Say, would you happen to be interested in earning yourself some more coins? Or, even better, more books like those? There is something I need. I have a problem, and this problem is called Celia, which happens to... You know, I am one of those people who wasn't given everything by fate. Quite the contrary, in fact. When I was a child, the village I grew up in, Foamville, was and and both my father and my mother died during the attack.
Thank you, but it's a...
Fact is, my sister and I dealt with this event differently. We managed to flee the attack and make it, but while I tried to honor my father's heritage by using the little I could from our savings by setting up a business, she preferred to wallow in her... She got to know the wrong people and has, since then, never done a single bit of honest work. Frankly, she's a dust addict. Day and night she does nothing else but rot in those drinking holes in the Undercity and blows what little money she...
Now, of course, she is still my sister, so all of these years I paid her rent so she doesn't have to sleep on the streets. However, things have changed. Recently she started using our father's heritage to pay for her addiction, and I will not accept that. Of course, you wouldn't know that. Glimmercap dust, the blue bliss, or however you want to call it. It's a drage, a dangerous one. Apparently, it makes you feel as if you're walking the eternal paths, but it also kills you quicker than the sunfire.
Well, technically it's our money. Basically, it was a share our father had in a small business here. He was so proud of it, you wouldn't believe it. Luckily enough, I managed to save that paper from the bandits and turned it in at the bank a few years ago. Since then, it has turned into quite a formidable sum. Nothing huge, of course. You understand? In theory, it is our money, but without me, she would probably have sold it for a bottle of ale. And I won't let her spit on our father's heritage that way. I certainly could, but the day a guard voluntarily goes into the Undercity is the day a Vartia will become a barber. The Undercity belongs to Relata, and Celia knows that, which is why my hands are tied. Oh, believe me, I did. Which is why she simply hid the key to our safe in the bank somewhere that I couldn't find it. So, long story short, this is where you come in. I want you to get her to give me that key. How you do it is up to you. But if you succeed, it won't be to your disadvantage. Anywhere there's rats and dust. But she spends most of her time in the False Dog in the Undercity. One of those dumps I told you about. Just come back to me once you've found something.
They just don't respect the elders anymore. Not at all.
Please, sit down. Please, sit down. A game. Come on, take a seat.
That's just how they are.
Be no bad.
As I said, the others. Hello? Madame, is it important?
I will. Take care.
How am I supposed to move along?
Hey, you came. Come on, take a seat. So, tell me, how are you holding up? It must have been quite the whirlwind. Yesterday, a refugee from another country, and now a prodigy with a magic great enough to impress old Bushybeard. Well, that's good to hear. I'm quite curious to see how things keep on with you. You're different. I noticed that the time we met. Anyhow, tell me, what do you make of this country now that you've had some time to look around? I figure it must be quite the change from Nerim. Shoot. Yeah, I can picture that. You know, this is exactly the reason why I love inns so much. The sky can rain fire out there. In here, you'll always meet laughter and good humor. Not to mention all the good-looking men and women. Absolutely. Though I think I've seen enough of this place by now. Of Enderal, I mean. There's a ship sailing for Calais next morning, and as it seems, it will be the last one for quite some time to come. Who knows? Maybe they still have a cabin to spare for a handsome treasure hunter. Oh well. This entire thing was more a coincidence than planned anyhow. The Order needed someone with skill and discretion. Heck, me as an ambassador of the Holy Order? Not one step further, O fair maiden. Drop your garment so we may both bathe in actually not that bad, don't you think? Oh, you're too kind. But you know, at the end of the day, I guess I'd probably lack both the pathos and the idealism for such a profession. You know, I'm aware of how these... I could save 30 virgins from a Myrodon rampage. At the end of the day, they'd always say I did it for the money. I'm driven by inferior motives. While no matter what their actions end in, they are... What does the wise hermit say? Nothing is of less importance to the... The only difference between a mercenary like me and a holy warden is that I'm at least aware of the fact that I do what I do for myself. I'm trying to say that all those heroes and self-declared messiahs are no better than everyone else. In the end, we are all selfish, because we... So yes, maybe the keeper saves the farmer from the bandit. You know, the funny thing is that a lot of times, it's especially they don't understand what drives them, and that makes them easy to... The only thing left to do for the capable hate-monger or tyrant is to somehow and presto, you've got your perfect puppet, only waiting... The world would be a much better place if everyone could just acknowledge that the only reason we're... Yeah, seek bliss and avoid pain, as the wise hermit likes to say. And believe me, once you realize that... Oh, yeah, I do. And this goal is called surviving. And if possible, to be able to enjoy a good glass of wine or an exciting night from time to time. Oh, blazes, you make it sound so dramatic. Doing something for your own sake doesn't make you selfish. But yeah, basically that's it. I don't know, call it a feeling. And hey, I'd be the last one to reject this great truth if she were to knock... You do? And here I thought I'd get an indignant cry and a splash of wine thrown in my face. I very much enjoyed our talk. But the ship to Calais leaves before the first cocks crow tomorrow, and I want some more time to think about it. Well, it most recently gained a good-looking Naramese woman. Maybe that'll make up for when I leave. Keep your chin up.
I really need that new herbal essence for my hair. Madame.
Malphas's